Hello, my sweet dreamers. So, I wanted to let everyone know we got our cat back, and baby Lola. We got Lola back from the vet today. She is doing well. She was purring and all happy, and she's so sweet. She's such an innocent, sweet little kitty cat. But anyway, I took her out very slowly and put her in the cage outside on the porch so she can rest out there for a while and not be bothered. And, so she had her vaccinations that they recommended, I guess, and she had her, her shots and her deworming and all of that stuff, and she had her surgery, her spaying surgery. She got spayed. She got fixed, basically, so we wanted to take care of that before that would get out of hand or whatever. But anyway, I wanted to read a little bit about some things here. We got to go up to the post office today, just north of here. There's been quite a lot going on. We've been a busy past couple of days. We had to go to pick my father up from work and bring him home. We brought him home. He got to rest, and my Nana had eye surgery. Now she sees much better and clearer, she said, out of her one eye there, one of her eyes. And she went back yesterday to have a follow-up procedure done. And so that's what's been going on there. My mama is still suffering, but her hip did not give way today, thank goodness. So I want to read a little bit about these superstitions and things, give a life update. These little different things, not superstitions. I got a really cool magazine that talks about the different superstitions and practices people have worldwide. If you're interested in having me read that whispered wise, I want to go ahead and do that. But I found it interesting about the moon that the word lunacy comes from the Latin lunaticus. I love the Latin language because Latin is a very powerful language. There's actually a woman or girl or whatever who also does some music videos that works north of here. I don't know. I've never really spoken to her, but I know she does a lot of that type of stuff. But anyway, I do know that about her. I know that personally. I've seen that. I know there's people out there that are deep into the dark stuff. I would never get into the dark type of thing. I believe in the power of thoughts, sometimes, and magical energy and the celestial heavens, and I believe in the Lord, so I do believe that we are given these abilities to direct our thought and focus. But they said the word lunaticus or moonstruck. Ask any cop or emergency room doctor. They'll tell you why people really do act loony. They really act up when there's a full moon. That's where the word loony came from. I never really thought about it, but just loony or loony, Luna. Luna is the scientific name that is actually given to our moon. Scientists are still struggling to figure out why people do act up when there's a full moon, because people randomly go, must be a full moon when something happens. But they said that's linking the moon-related disorders to changes at night or gravitational pull. Maybe it affects the brain, or maybe there's some sort of a magical force added. Just like the knock on wood. The oldest traditions of all time, knocking on wood brought good luck. Pagans did that. They would place their hands on the trees. And by the way, Native American Indians know this as well. I'll actually place my hands on trees and feel woom, 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 like a vibrational energy, a pulsing. That's it. You can actually, I want you to try that sometime. Put your hands around a tree and hold them, and you'll feel the pulsing energy, that spirit energy of the tree. But anyway, I personally know that. I've felt that, and I've done that since I was a child. And people who experience, like myself, the strange beings and creatures, you'll hear wood knocking sounds, like the sounds of knocking. I've actually recorded them in the past. Wish I could have kept the recordings. my corrupt device became corrupt, the card became corrupt, and that's the kind of crap that happened whenever I actually would capture this stuff. And I was like, crap, why did that have to happen? But every single time I would capture something significant, the device would become corrupt. But anyway, they said the spirits, they would get favors from the spirits inside to people who hit wood loudly to chase away bad spirits. So they said it would be like when that's where knock on wood came from. But they said that the spirits inside, they would actually knock on the tree, and the spirit to get favors from the spirits inside to people who would hit wood loudly to chase away bad spirits. And Christians, believers in Christ, would touch a wooden crucifix when making a promise. And the whole thing about, well, that's just common sense, not walking under a ladder, but the, breaking a mirror, 7 years bad luck. There's a lot of stuff about roosters and things, and in the ancient cultures and stuff. The umbrella, that's really cool, really interesting. Don't open umbrellas indoors. I never did that. My mama said that, Granny always said I never do that. And I actually have Cherokee in my blood. I have Cherokee, Native American Indian in my blood because my great-great-grandmother, I called her grandmother, she actually had Cherokee in her blood. And Mama said sometimes when I talk, you can, like, I'll sometimes suddenly start talking like that, and I become different, personalities, like, well, not, you know what I mean. Whatever I feel at the moment, I become this personality or voice, but, but that's just, interesting things about me. My grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, was Native American Indian. She was Cherokee. So, apparently several hotels and buildings don't have 13th floors because they believed for many years that the number was unlucky. Now, some people say that it doesn't necessarily get an unlucky vibe with it. Some people say it's lucky, so it's different for different people. There's a lot of stuff in here, like spilling the salt, all kinds of things, crossing your fingers. They said that a religious or spiritual symbol predating Christianity, it meant that unity, power. They said a midpoint processing, the most power for good. Initially, people would actually cross their index fingers, and it would a single-handed gesture. When Christianity was actually illegal, Christians would actually cross their fingers to identify each other. So believers in Christ would actually identify themselves by crossing their fingers. There was another one on here that was, let's see, what was it? It was, let's see. This right here, they said it believes not opening umbrellas indoors might date to ancient Egyptian times, and they said it might insult the sun god, which is Ra. Like where Lady Gaga puts that in there. She covers her eyes a lot. It's kind of interesting to think about that one. Kind of creepy there. But the Queen of Victorian England, they said whenever they would newfangled spring-loaded metal umbrella broke in a room, it could poke out an eye or knock over valuables. So that's also a tradition as well. That's where part of the beliefs it came from. But another one was papyrus and peacock feather parasols. Using them inside could insult the sun god. So that's where that came from in Egypt. And they said it would bring bad luck. But the moon thing, yeah, I can verify that. The craziness during the full moon. And the power of the full moon, you can actually feel the energy from it. And it amplifies magical energy and power and stuff like that. That's also traditionally ancient knowledge as well. But you can look a lot of Native American Indian information up and find out these interesting things as well. Yes, I am a believer in Jesus Christ. That's my belief. But I also believe in the power of thought, and when it's amplified, you can really feel it when it's amplified. You can feel it. But anyway, the power of prayer and thought and things like that. But let's see, what else was I going to say? Anyway, we took the cat to the vet today. Well, yesterday. We just went and got her. We were home late last night We took my daddy back to work. My father, we took him to work, and he's now in Missouri. He's going to stay there for his break and then come back and be here probably 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, Saturday or so. And then after that, he'll go back to North Carolina on Sunday. And hold on, there's a siren. The police have been swarming lately. Not only here, but in surrounding counties, they've been swarming. That was a cop, a sheriff. But state troopers and sheriffs have been rampant. That was Red barking. He goes, ooh, 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 ooh. That's how he barks when there's a siren or something, or any howling going on in the woods. He barks like that, even when coyotes holler and stuff too. But I can assure you that strange, paranormal, interdimensional, and spiritual beings do exist, without a doubt. I could testify that under oath to the Lord, I will tell you. But anyway, we took the cat. We got her from the vet today. That was, wow, it cost more than I thought. Even with a $30 discount, it cost $142. I was like, whew, man, but, you have to do what you have to do. And, some great news. I took a video. We're going to get the Nissan back probably Monday. They said they ordered it at, by the way, the people that run that place, they're run by country music singers, and they're actually the ones that work on it. These 2 country music singers, which is really cool. They actually do work on the vehicle, and they got it done. And they said, well, they're going to want the other light repaired too, so they're going to repair the other light. They've fully aligned the vehicle, fixed it all up, made the frame and the bump and the hood, the bumper, everything. They made everything look awesome. And the lights and everything, except for one light on the driver's side, and they're going to fix that later this evening and then have it ready by Monday. So we'll have our vehicle by Monday. So that is great news. Because it's Friday, March 5th. So we'll have the vehicle by the 8th on Monday. So we'll have our Nissan Xterra back, hopefully by next week. So that is great news. We had a situation. I had to call, or I had to email them because they didn't want to get the, like I said before, they hadn't gotten the check, and they wanted to make sure they got the check, which is understandable. So after I emailed Geico, which is not our insurance, it was the person that hit us, their insurance, but they got with us right away, and got with my mama. They called her and paid them, and they sorted things out, and now all that's left is the front driver's side headlight, and the total costs were around $1,500. They put it right under there so it wouldn't be over the threshold to be considered a total loss. That's why they did that. So thank goodness that particular collision center is very workable, and they did an awesome job. They actually did work really, really well, so I'm thankful for that. But this is a really interesting magazine. I've experienced a lot of these things. Well, several things. Being a person who's experienced these strange things, I have a fascination with them. So there's the sun behind these clouds right there. So it's been a very cold day. It was like 39 degrees earlier. Well, cold for March, but it was like 39 earlier. This subject fascinates me as well. That and the spirits and things that I've dealt with. Mysterious face on Mars, that's really cool. This type of thing. I got this magazine like for little of nothing, so I found it as in their little sales bin at this place. It's normally a really expensive magazine, but I found it in their sales section. It was like, well, so Betty and Barney Hill, that's one of the older cases of encounters of this kind. That's the newspaper right there. They actually have a copy of the newspaper article. I do believe in interdimensional beings. I do believe in demonic beings. And I do believe that these things were built by something that is beyond what they're trying to claim. Now, this stuff has been coming out quite recently. They give like 180 days for it to actually be released to Congress for some reason. I have no idea what that has to do with the COVID bill, but I will say that they're planning a lot of stuff. Sorry, still had all this stuff. We just got back with a cat from the vet earlier. I still have the paper and things in here. But anyway, some of the, let's see. Where was that? I was trying to find what I was looking for, but I don't know where it's at. Oh, I was right on it. The Shroud of Turin, that's also like shrouded in controversy. There's an interesting video about like time travel experiences, and there's a bunch of stuff in there in that video of like there's a bunch of stuff in that video where they talk about where there's like a where they can actually see the past, and it's supposedly hidden in the Vatican. That's also very interesting. They say the Vatican has access to this, and they claim they actually witnessed the crucifixion of Jesus. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's quite interesting that they might have something like that. And the Philadelphia experiment, all that stuff, you should look it up. It's really fascinating. All right, so